We're live. Hey, everybody. It's just a minute before 3 o'clock, and we're getting ready to get this show on the road. How's everybody doing today? Hey,
Hello.
ma'am. Okay. Well, Chris is here. I'm here.
Hi.
Good deal. So, where do we want to start there?
Well, I'll just say hello to people who are here. Looks like it says that there's 22 watching. And if you have any questions regarding Google Photos, please put them in the chat. We have a few to start with, but then we will get to the, the ones you put. Where
I
is
don't know.
I'm hearing more. Is that my sound or yours that I'm
I
hearing?
think
The
it's
actual.
yours.
Okay.
Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
No, it's
Okay.
yours. Okay.
I think.
So just hello, everybody. I'm Chris,
And I'm Jim.
and I am a Google Photos product expert, claimed so by Google, and I wrote a book on Google Photos. It's
It's echoing.
there's a long delay. I'm getting very confused here. I guess I just shouldn't be watching the. There we go. There we go. Never mind. I was watching the
Oh, no
rather
way.
than anyway.
See,
All
now
right.
that's usually my fault.
So I wrote the book on Google Photos, and we have this YouTube channel that is devoted to Google Photos. So once a month we have a Ask Me Anything. And I will say that this last week we were at an RV rally called FMCA up in Georgia, and we gave some live classes. And there were a few questions that came out of those live classes that I figured I'd write down here and address. But we will also address anything that you can you stop the playback that's coming somewhere from the house, Jim? YouTube is on somewhere. I'm hearing the playback.
I hear it too, but I have no
Okay.
YouTube on. None. Okay.
All right.
I'm at a loss.
Okay. I will just soldier on. How's that?
Okay.
So we have some questions here.
All right. Let's see what we got.
I don't think we're hearing you. So the first question, and this, a lot of people are asking this question, so I figured I would just deal with it right away.
What should I do before June 1st and the end of free unlimited storage?
What should I do before the end of free unlimited storage? And this is written up in the new preface to the book. I made a preface to the book, and I want to just show you that. So I'll just show you that. And so can you put that on the screen, Jim? It's my screen. Or I guess I can too. So major changes that affect the book was printed in September of 2020, and things keep changing all the time. And I keep a complete list. But the number one thing you need to know about is that high quality file size will no longer be free as of June 1st. How much will storage cost? For photos that you upload after June 1st, now before June 1st, no changes. After June 1st, even high quality will count against your charges, and these are the amounts. It's still just $2 a month for 100 gigabytes. I think it's no problem. But what you should do before June 1. Number one, you should upload now, because everything you upload in high quality before June 1 is grandfathered in. It is exempt. Anything uploaded in high quality before June 1 is exempt from any storage fees. So upload everything you can before June 1. If you need a deadline to get something done, here you go. Also, before June 1, check to make sure that everything you had previously uploaded was done at high quality. There is something called compression that you can specify after the fact to go back and change anything that you've already uploaded. And that's right here in the new preface to the book. But let me show you that. So if I go to photos.google.com, and on the web, so I'm just going to the website of my Google Photos, and I click the gear, the settings button, and choose compression, or change to high quality. Let me see. Recover storage is what it will say if you have a completely free account. If you don't, if you're already paying for some storage like I am, it doesn't say recover storage. It says manage subscription. What you do in that case is you just click on the high quality, and it will tell me that I am currently using 9.7 gigabytes of Google account storage. But if I click confirm here, it will retroactively compress all of that 10 gigabytes so that it takes up zero storage. You want your storage to report 0 used for Google Photos on June 1st. So then going forward, you're starting with 0 and you have 15 gigabytes of free space. So that's what I have to say about that. 2 things to do before June 1st. Number 1, upload everything you can. Number 2, make sure to use the recover storage feature so that everything that's already uploaded is taking up 0 space.
Okay, can you explain motion photos and how to turn them off? What are they good for? That's for me, I'm not here, okay?
And that's one I really should be taking too, but I won't. So what was the next question? Can you put it back up again?
Sorry, can you explain motion photos?
Motion photos.
Yeah.
And this is one that came up a lot at the rally last week. People said, I'm taking pictures and I get this movement with them. I don't understand what it is, and I don't know how to turn it off, and it takes up a lot of space. And what's it for anyway? So that's on both the iPhone and the Android. Let me show you on iPhone first. So let me get that right screen up. Come on, IV Cam. There we go.
Yay.
So here I am on my iPhone, and I go to Google Photos, and I look for, on the iPhone, it's called Live Photos. So I can search for, well, motion photos is the generic term. So these are all motion photos. And what that means, there's a little button here for pause or play. And when it's playing, it gets this little bit of motion. And people said, where is that coming from? How do I turn it off? And why should I care? First of all, where it's coming from is when you take a picture in the camera on an iPhone, it's this little bullseye icon here. Tap it once and it says, you are now taking a live photo. Tap it again and live is off. And on the Android, it's the exact same concept, but it looks a little bit different. So on my Samsung, it's not on all Androids, but on my Samsung in the camera, it's this little button right here. And you tap that and it says motion photo on or motion photo off. So if you don't want it, just turn your motion photo off. But now what's it good for? It's really kind of cool. And we have one of our videos is on this. I encourage you to look through our videos to find the one for motion photos. If I search for motion photos, the thing is, when you've taken a motion photo, you can capture one frame. And I think that's pretty cool. So if this is a motion photo, you know, maybe he blinked his eyes.
It says there's enough light here. So it says there's enough light.
Yeah. So let's say I kind of like it where his eyes go up and to the right there. And I want to make that be the still photo. What you do is you just swipe up on an Android. This particular feature isn't on the iPhone. So on Android, you swipe up and you're now seeing every frame of this set of motion photos. And I can find there, that one where he's looking up and I can say save copy. So it's really great for taking pictures of people. And maybe what got captured is their eyes closed. You can go in and find the frame of the motion photo where their eyes are open. I kind of like that, but they do take up space. And if you're taking pictures of scenery, there's really not much use for that. So I turn off motion photo most of the time.
Okay. How about on desktop, how can you copy a picture from Facebook to Google Photos? A picture I'd like to send to Google Photos that's posted on my Facebook page, right?
Okay. Now I'm not hearing you through the computer. Are they hearing you on the YouTube and stuff? Just
they are.
Just go check that. All right. So let me go to Facebook and see if I can find an example of what you're talking about. Now, if you're on a phone, yeah, maybe I should do it on a phone. Never mind. I should do it on a phone. So there. And I go to Facebook. Which is here somewhere. There. And I find, those are our pictures. So let's see if I can find a picture that somebody else put on there. All right, here's a gorgeous picture. I want it. Long press. Wasn't it long press that does it, Jim? I thought it did. On a computer, it is right click. All right.
It's
you have to actually open the picture there. I was still looking at the post. Now long press and save to phone. And once it's saved to phone, then Google Photos can see it. So now I go back to Google Photos and I will either see that picture right away or I will need to go and make sure that yeah, I'll have to go to library. Oh, no, there it is. I just didn't wait long enough. So there is the picture that I just saved from Facebook. So step one was go to the picture and open the picture. Make sure you're not looking at the whole post. Tap on the picture, then you long press on the picture and save to device. If you're using a computer, you would right click on the picture and download, save to your computer. Then you need to upload it to Google Photos.
Okay. Everybody says they're hearing me fine.
Okay, great.
I don't know what's going on up there. What's next? Let's see here.
We've been gone for a week, you know. I'm just totally out of practice.
We are really out of practice. After a whole week away from this, it's crazy. Okay. Linda, how to have the photo automatically show the name of the town and state. You understand this one?
On info, it shows latitude, longitude. Well, I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'm just going to show you where you see the city and state. So on my phone, on the Android phone, I go to a picture. Look at those beautiful azaleas, and that's our little camper van. And if I just swipe up, it tells me I see a map. Okay, so maybe what you want right here to say the town and state. I see a map, and it tells me that that's in Melrose Bay. And you can tap on that and see the detailed map and see all the other pictures that are with that map. There's nothing configurable here. You know, you can't change it, but in this view, where it says the date, I thought it did say city. There we go. Yeah, I thought it does say a location there. I guess there has to be enough pictures in the same location for it to say that or something. Sometimes it just says the date. Sometimes it says the date and location.
Yeah, and we haven't changed any settings there, so it must be something that Google does all by its own self.
So I'm just zooming in, making them bigger to get to day view. And in day view, there it says Perry and Georgia National Fairgrounds.
Cool.
Let's see if it's any different on the iPhone. But the main thing is the map. So if you like to know about where pictures are, get used to using the map. So, nope, same thing. It does just have the date. But if you tap on one and swipe up, you will see a map. And now this map says Oakland Park, Florida.
That's where we are right now.
You can always tap on the map, and now you'll see all the pictures taken in that nearby that spot. I love the map. That's cool.
I do too.
So
I use that a lot.
That's how it does location.
All right. Cool. Jane asks if you partner share your Google Photos with two email addresses, will that double count your photos in June when they begin to charge after the 15 gigabytes?
Okay. First of all, just in case people don't know what she's talking about with the partner share, I do want to show that. So, and that works exactly the same on iPhone or Android. So it's the iPhone that's under the camera right now. And if you go into settings, which is under your account button at the upper right, so your little face and photos settings, and then there is partner sharing. You can have one partner, that's it. And that one partner, and you specify what he can access I say he can access all of my photos. And then he has the choice on his end of saying whether or not he wants to automatically save any of them to his account. So that's critical when it comes to your question, Jane. So in our case, once you have a partner set up, you can access your partner's photos with this little sharing button in the top left. That's the sharing button. And this is just kind of a back door to Jim's photos. I can tap on Jim's photos and I am seeing all of Jim's photos. When we first set this up, I said, whenever you see a photo of me in Jim's photos, automatically save it to my library. So I preface this with that because that's a big difference as to what you're needing to pay for storage for. I mean, if you're just accessing your partner's photos, then there is no storage involved. If you choose to save your partner's photos to your account, to your library, then yes, there is storage involved. But this is where I seem to recall, and I'm just not positive on this, I'd have to research it a little bit more. I seem to recall that when it was a partner's photo, you still didn't get charged for storage when yours was a copy, as long as the partner still had that photo. Now, if the partner deletes the photo and yours is now the only copy, then it counts for storage. But I'm a little foggy on exactly that. But in any case, it will not count unless you save to your library.
Here's one. Snapseed doesn't seem to work from the iOS version of Google Photos.
True. And it does work, but there's a bug. And I do have a video on, if you just search at the Learn Google Photos videos, and for bug, you'll see a video on the iPhone bug between Google Photos and Snapseed, but I can show you that. So if I want to open up this photo in Snapseed on the iPhone, I should be able to just swipe up and see open in Snapseed here, but I don't. I have to force quit Google Photos. What I mean by force quit is to go into your multitasking mode on an iPhone with the home button. You double press the home button. On the iPhone 10s, you swipe up halfway and then swipe Google Photos off. So that force quits the app. Now, when you reopen it again, and I'm just going to pick the first photo here. Now, when I swipe up, all right, maybe that's not one of my photos. So here, I swipe up. Now open in Snapseed is there. But if I open in Snapseed, I do my thing, and I close Snapseed, and I go back to Google Photos, open in Snapseed is not there anymore. So that's the bug. You have to kick it. You have to kick it before Snapseed shows up from Google Photos, but it's still there. It still works.
Okay. Can you talk about the new Explorer tab? Android finally got color pop. I love it.
I did write a response to Honey. Did she answer that? Is she, Honey, are you here? I'm not sure what you mean by the Explorer tab.
Yeah.
I don't see it now. You're on Android, so let me move Android over here. And I made sure to do an update just in case you had something more recent than me, but I don't see an Explorer tab, unless possibly you're talking about this top row here. I call that memories. That's what these are. These are memories, and they're really cool. And they're getting better. People bemoaned the fact that the For You tab went away. And Google kept telling us, well, those little creations that were made in For You are now in memories under recent highlights, but there weren't any coming up. Well, they're starting to come up more now. So if you go to recent highlights, and I'm on the Android, recent highlights, you can just tap on the right side of the screen to get to the next one and the next one. And any new creation that Google makes for you will be here. And it seems like there was one. It made me a cool little collage. They have these nice collages now. There. So this is one of the creations that Google made for me, is a then and now collage, and that's up at the top. Now, the other thing you mentioned was the color pop. So let me find one that I think color pop will work on. For color pop, you need to have a person in the foreground. Let's see if it'll be on this. If I tap on edit, I may or may not. I do. I get color pop. See, it depends on the photo, and it depends on whether or not you're a Google One subscriber. See that little multicolored one there? That means I'm only getting that because I do pay for storage. I am a Google One member, so I have color pop. And yeah, it didn't. It's much better when there's only one person, then it can really define. So it put Jim in black and white and me and Alex in color. This one was not a very good example. I will not save it, but that's what color pop is. Let's see if there's another good one. There, this one will get it good. I tap on edit and color pop. And there we go. Jim is in living color and everything else is in black and white.
Yeah, it's usually the other way around for me. It feels like.
So that's kind of good.
Yeah, okay, we'll go with that. And then what do we have? Wanted to post a picture to Facebook from the phone, but it only shows pictures for about last 3 years. Is this photos has pictures going back to 2007? Is that kind of like what you already covered?
Okay. So what that's, if you're in Facebook, if you're starting from Facebook, Facebook does not, at least yet, have direct access to your Google account, your Google set of photos. It only has access to the photos that are on your local device. So if you're starting in Facebook and you want to go get a photo, you're limited to the photos on your device. However, and this I can show, and she said Android, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm leaving the Android. So I will go back to, 2010. And you know that none of these photos are on this device. This is a long time ago. Oh, but look at that. It was still an FMCA. So if I wanted to share this with Facebook, I could do it before starting a post in Facebook by coming to Google Photos, tap the share, and find Facebook. But you do need to have the Facebook app installed. And after our show with Phil May,
You uninstalled.
I deleted the Facebook app from this phone. Yeah, from my main phone here. So I do not have. Oh, look at there. I lied. There's Facebook. Huh. Okay. So starting from Google Photos, you have access to all of your Google Photos. You tap share and share it to Facebook, and then type whatever you want to say about it. So that's how it's done. If not, I mean, if you need to post a picture like in reply to somebody else's post, so starting with Google Photos doesn't work for you, then what you do is you download the photo from Google Photos. So I can do this same photo, and if I swipe up on it, I have the option to download. So if I download this photo to this device, now when I go back to Facebook, it will see it. It will be one of the photos on the device that Facebook can access.
All right, let's see what else we got. Whoops. My wife and I have used the COVID months to gather up all our videos, paper pictures, and digital pictures, and now they're all on Google Photos.
Wow.
And high
Wow.
quality. Yeah,
I am proud of you.
really, that's awesome. And that's the way it should be done. So take advantage of this time. It can be really cool.
Yeah, because those will be grandfathered in come June 1st, and they will be freely stored forever. And you should just be so happy once all your photos are there and searchable. That's great.
Grandfathered, that's right. Okay.
Yes, those will be grandfathered in.
I have mine saved in Google One. Amazon Prime, my external hard drive is sticking on my phone.
Now, what's that? We often say
external hard drive. Come on.
We often say belt and suspenders. So what's that?
Yeah.
Belt and suspenders and
more
tie.
Yeah, well, Sheila thinks that Richard is smart too.
Yeah, well, so do I. I have them in Google Photos, but my main point is know which one is your primary storage of photos, where you make sure that you have everything. I mean, I have most of my photos stored in Microsoft OneDrive and in Amazon Photos and on backup hard drives. But I make sure that everything is in Google Photos because that's where I go to search, to share. All of my photos are there. That's where I go to work with my photos, to make albums. Don't go making albums in your Amazon Photos if Google Photos is your main storage, because you won't see those albums.
All right, Jan wants to know, how do you know if your photos are in high quality? And if they aren't, how do you do it?
Now that's on the computer. Yeah, I would like to say you just swipe up, and down here it says that it was uploaded in high quality or original quality, but I think that only shows up on the computer. So let me show you that. Here. And first of all, check to see what setting is set. But just because you have a setting set now for high quality doesn't necessarily mean that all your photos in the past have been uploaded at high quality. So this is where you check it. If you go to Photos, and on the computer, on the web version of Google Photos, and you click the eye, you get that info panel up on the right-hand side. Come on. Come on. There. Oh, this just says uploaded from iOS device. It usually says uploaded in high quality or in original quality. Let me just go back and find another one. See if I can find that. And uploaded from iOS device. Well, line again. The main way to know, though, I mean, if you want them all in high quality, then what you need to go look at is your storage. And that is at one.google.com. So it's one.google.com, which is the storage. Whether you pay for it or not, you go to one.google.com. and then you click on storage over here on the left, and it will tell you how much you're using. So I am paying for extra storage, and my Google Photos is using 9.74 gigabytes. I think that number should be 0. And I am going to do that before June 1st for mine. I am going to use that recover storage command to put everything back to starting at 0 on June 1. But that's how you know for sure, is by going to one.google.com storage.
Okay, Daniel has another question. Why do some photos appear in a very small format on the screen versus filling up the entire screen?
Ooh, that means that they are a very low resolution photo. And that's not good, especially if you didn't realize, when you crop or when you get a photo from Facebook, for example, photos that are uploaded to Facebook are severely downgraded in resolution. So if you then get it from Facebook and bring it over to YouTube, it's going to be small. And if you want to learn more about that, I do have a video about resolution. If you just go to all our Google Photos videos and search for resolution, you will find that.
Okay, another question. I hope you don't charge by the question. My wife is my shared partner for all of my Google Photos. My wife is my partner for all of my Google Photos.
I think that's great. And that's without sharing an account. Now, a lot of people think if they want to share photos with their spouse, they just use the same Google account. No. That's going to come back to bite you sometime, because then your emails are mixed in together and your Google Drive and your calendar. And no, each person should have their own Google account. And then if you want to share photos, that's what the partner sharing is for.
Okay, and then I'd like to also share all the photos with my son and his wife and son without giving them editing capabilities. Can you do that?
The partner sharing, which gives access to your entire library of photos, can only be done with one person. That's the way it works. So no, my recommendation would be to start albums. And you can make an album that automatically adds every picture with certain people's faces in it. So if you think that your son and his wife would like to see the pictures where you or your wife's face is in it, you can start an album, share it with them, and turn on the option in Google Photos to automatically add every picture that has the certain faces in it. So and other than that, you will just have to create albums and share with them.
All right, saving from Facebook, is attribution necessary?
So I think what you're talking about is kind of like copyright. I mean, if somebody posted a picture on Facebook, it's kind of up to them to understand who they're sharing it with. I mean, if I post a picture on Facebook and I feel like I have, I want to maintain my rights to that picture, I'm only going to share it with friends, not to the public. So is attribution necessary? No. Might it be nice? Yeah. Should you ask permission? Maybe. But if somebody posted a picture publicly, now, one thing, they are not giving up copyright. Somebody put it that way. They are not giving up copyright. You cannot claim to have the copyright to a photo that you got from Facebook. But are there rules for attribution? Not really.
All right, here's one. How long will Google Photos be available?
Where's my crystal ball? It is probably, other than search and maybe Gmail, it's the most popular service that Google has. I think it's going on 2 billion. I know it's over 1 billion active users. That's billion with a B. So they are not going to shut it down. Now, will they change the interface? Sure. My photos have been stored in my Google account since 2004. Now, for many, from 2004 to 2012, they were stored in what was called Picasa web albums, but it was still my Google account. From 2012 to 2015, they were stored, I mean, I could access them through Google Plus Photos. In 2015, they left Google Plus, and now it's Google Photos. Will there be more of that to come? Probably. But all the photos that I have stored in my Google account, whatever they called the app, are still there. So I personally have a very high trust of my photos will still be there as long as I ever want to see them. That said, do I back them up somewhere else? Absolutely. There's no way I trust my photos to just one location.
All right, George says, I recently loaded a bunch of photos from hundreds of old slides back to 1952. He has pictures of you as a baby. Probably all of these will have transfer date, not the actual date. Is that right?
Okay. And I do have a video about changing dates. There's a couple of different ways. You can do it right in Google Photos very easily. The problem with that, though, so I'll show that. And actually, I have an example. Oops. It's very easy to change dates in Google Photos, but it only changes the date for Google Photos. So here's an example we use. You can tell that this was just snapped from a photo album, right? And it says that I did that in February of 2012. But I happen to know that this was my mother before I was born. So this has to be around 1950. All I do is click the little pencil and I'll say 1950. I have no idea what the month and day, so 1950 is good enough. And as soon as I click save, it goes into the Google Photos stream by date, and it is back with the 1950s. As long as I'm here, I got to show you because people really liked this last week. You can make them look a little bit better, right? And I think this would look better. First of all, cropped. So I click on crop and get the edges out. And then if I make it pure black and white, I think it's going to look better than this faded, whatever that is. And so I click on the filters and I make it black and white. And I think maybe I like that black and white one better. And then maybe a little pop. All right. So what do you think? Isn't that a better picture? All right. So it's a nice picture now, and it is dated appropriately.
Okay.
If you want the date to stick with the photo, scanning device that digitalizes photos inside. Okay, so George, I think maybe your photos then are on your computer. Have you maybe not uploaded them to Google Photos yet? And if not, I would recommend changing the date using Windows. Windows can change the date every bit as easily as I just did, and you can select a whole group. Select a whole group of photos, change the date, and then that is stamped onto the metadata of that photo and it stays with it wherever it goes.
Okay, a couple of things from Honey here. She is here. She sent you
Oh, the web version.
the web version. Ah,
Okay.
you want to look at that?
Let me see. The explore. Okay, yes. Yeah. Thank you, honey. I have read about that. I forgot what I read. The Explore is now where people are. I'm not sure if that makes sense to me or not, but it's kind of like what the old albums tab used to be. The old albums tab is where you went to see people, places, things, and your albums. Now it's the Explore, and people aren't people here,
Hit explore again.
but if people are here, they should be up. There we go. There we go. Yeah, people are up at the top. Yeah, the people and the places and the things and all the other. Right. It combines search and albums there. That's what the new Explore tab combines, search and albums. I guess it makes a little bit of sense, but it is now different from the mobile apps.
Okay. Oh, she likes it. I like it too. If you're a Google One member, or if you have a Pixel phone of the right vintage, all of this stuff is just there. Even if you're a Pixel and not Google One, you'll see it. If you're a Google One, you'll see it. And if you're not, you won't, right?
Right. Right. If you're not a Google One subscriber, you will be missing out on some premium features. And I'm kind of expecting, I'm hoping for a lot of those things that we kept asking for and never got, that maybe we will get them now for premium membership.
Okay.
Hi, Rosemary. Good to see you.
Yeah. All right. Bill and Karen are late. I don't know. Did you bring a note? Yeah. And congratulations to those guys. Great job. All right. What's the best way to back up our 7743 items? Well,
Okay.
depends.
Well, I assume they're on your computer, right? You can back them up either manually or automatically. And 7,700 really isn't that much. I would need to know how many folders are they in. Did you put them all in just one big folder, or just a couple folders, or maybe one per year? Or did you do a lot of work to make all sorts of folders and subfolders? Hopefully you did not, because those folders don't translate up to Google Photos. If they're in just a few folders, then you just drag and drop. And there's a video on this. You just get your file folders on one part of your screen, get your Google Photos website on the other side of your screen, and just drag folders over. If you have too many folders for that to be simple, then you need the Google Backup and Sync utility. And you get that. Well, let me show you. So so I'm just at Google Photos on the web version, and you click upload. And here you can upload from computer, but when you do it this way, you have to actually select the photos. So you'd go to computer, you'd find the folder, you'd select all the photos, and you'd say upload. If you have a lot of them, you just download this Backup and Sync, and there is another video on how to install that and what settings to do. It will find all your pictures in all your specified folders and upload them to Google Photos. And yes, do that before June 1.
Okay. Gary, after June, will photos still be added to the cloud automatically like now? And do I have to change settings to keep that from happening?
Yeah, I don't understand why you would want to keep that from happening. If you have Backup and Sync turned on, then photos get uploaded. That does not change on June 1. The only thing that changes is that if you have specified high quality, after June 1, there will be they will not be exempt from charges. I still plan to use high quality after June 1, by the way, because the whole purpose of high quality is it does compress the size. A picture that I take that's about 5 megabytes in size, original quality, the high quality is just 2 or 3. So I'm still using less space, even though it's not completely free.
Okay, what will I do with the thousands of photos I scanned and have a date of 4051? 40, I don't know. They will always appear above the current date. And we talked about changing date, right?
So something went wrong on his scan and they have it 4051. And yes, they will always be on the top. That's a little technique I've used. If I wanted some photos to always be on the top, I made them be 2030. If they're already in Google Photos, then you need to use the Google Photos tools, and you can select a bunch. So let me show this again, Jim. I showed you how to change the date on one photo, but you can select a first one and scroll down. Now you can't do thousands at a time here, but you can do hundreds. I can scroll down and hold down the shift key. So shift click on this last one, and I now have 170 photos selected. At this point, I can click the 3-dot menu. I'm on the wrong screen. The 3-dot menu and edit the date and time. And I would choose set one. So I would make all of those be January 1, 1996, for example. And that would do them all at once. So a few thousand will take you a little bit of work, but you don't have to do it one by one.
Okay, let's see. Where'd I go? All right, ready now. Let's see. Does color restoration and sharpening of old color photos?
It also does color restoration and sharpening of old color photos. Absolutely. I think I showed how to make a faded old photo be straight black and white. For that particular photo, I thought that was the best results. But yes, you can also adjust colors on old color photographs and sharpen them with a little bit of the pop feature. And it helps a lot.
Yeah, Honey says Android has waited a long time for Color Pop. Yeah, it's true. It's been available on some other apps, though, right? You can do Color Pop with other apps for a while. All right. So how do you change the photo dates and batches in Windows?
Okay. I could maybe show that, but let me show you how to find the video that I've done on it. Now, that's a great little shot that it picked as the thumbnail for me there. On this YouTube channel, so youtube.com/learn Google Photos, this YouTube channel, we've been working on making playlists of our videos. So if you have the book, for example, changing the date would be in, I don't know, I'm not sure which chapter changing the date is. Let me look in the index and see if I can find it. Changing the date. Dates 54. So I think maybe, yeah, they would be in chapter 3. Chapter 3, collecting all your photos. So on this YouTube channel, under playlists, we're starting to gather all the videos by chapter. So if you look through here, chapter 9, chapter 6, chapter 1, chapter 2, and of course, I don't see a chapter 3. Pretty sure we've done that, but if not, we will be. All right. Well, yeah, check back and see if there's a chapter 3 playlist next. Oh, no, there's more here, right? There we go. Chapter 3, gathering the rest of your photos. View full playlist.
Yeah, one of these days you'll figure out how.
One of these days I'll learn what I'm doing. I know. No, I won't. I'll just start forgetting it all anyway. Here, change the date taken on photos using Windows. Geeks on Tour tutorial video number 607. And how to upload Google Photos. Uploading Google Photos from a CD. Eliminate glare. Blah, blah, blah. So any of the videos we've done that have to do with chapter 3 in the book, you'll find on this playlist. And I think I also talked about the resolution one that, not sure what chapter that would be in. So anyway, lots and lots of tutorial videos there that you can peruse and keep learning more. All right, so you want me to show you on Windows. Let me, in Windows. If I find some photos, I don't keep photos on my computer much anymore at all. Here it says pictures. Oh, I know. I keep them. I do have backups of photos on my backup hard drive, though. So there we go. I can go to that. And let's say here's photos from 2007. And you have to make sure to be seeing the info panel over here on the right. Notice how at the top it says date taken. And I can change that. That's an editable field. And I can select all. There, I can select all. Show more details, click the date, and change the date. I have now, and then save. Make sure to click on save down here at the bottom. If I change that date, it will have changed the date for all of the pictures in this folder on Windows.
Wow. Cool.
And that is in that video.
Okay, there are 7,743 are in Google Photos already. Now he wants to back them up somewhere else.
Okay, and that would be chapter 5, I'm pretty sure. Chapter 5, no. Chapter 6, keeping your memories safe. That's backing up. So when you go to look at the videos, my recommendation would be to put them in an album because you're limited to 500 to back up just by individual selection. But you can put up to 2,000 in an album. So make, 4 albums. Somehow get those 8,000 pictures into 4 albums, and then you can download those to your computer. Or you can send them to another cloud. That could be a little bit harder, but it's in chapter 6 in the book. I do have a couple recommendations of ways to send to another cloud or how to gather them all and download to your computer.
Okay. Let's see. My copy of Learn Google Photos was downloaded as a PDF and doesn't have a preface. Can I get a copy of that?
Yes, absolutely. And I put the link in the chat. And I will do that again, or you can.
Okay, I'll have to go dig it out. Let's see.
I can, well, yeah, I can do it. There you go. Yep. So it's in the chat there. It's just 4 pages, you know. I mean, it's not a whole lot, but there is that thing about June 1 that's really important that you need to know. So I wrote that up in detail. And then I gave kind of a list of all the other things that have changed since publishing the book.
And that just happened. So when we upload the new manuscript to the PDF, it'll be there in the new book, or if you could download it again.
Right. If you buy the book from Amazon after next week, it will include the 2021 preface.
Okay.
Before then, you can just download the separate file of the 2021 preface.
Okay. Well, I think that's all of the questions I can see here. I see one note, the earlier message about my heritage. I did not see that, so I must have missed something.
My heritage sounds like a
genealogy.
Sounds like a genealogy thing. And most of the time, people are asking questions how to get a photo from Google Photos to their genealogy app. Rarely will there be a direct connect. So meaning you need to download the photo from Google Photos to your computer so that it's available to upload to your genealogy app. That's just my guess of what you might be asking.
No, right. Well,
I don't do genealogy. I've decided not to go down that rabbit hole.
My sister is a genealogist in my family, and I don't have to worry about it. I see the great pictures. That's
great. It looks like a lot of fun, but
no, it looks
you
like
can get lost in it.
A lot of work. Okay, it's 4:00. I think we are all through the questions. I hope so.
Excellent.
A lot of thank yous out there, and we thank you, especially our premium members, because you're what really makes this thing possible. And don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and sign up for our free newsletters. You can buy the book, Learn Google Photos, on Amazon and Kindle. I would wait for a couple of days if I were you to get the preface, though. That would be good. All right, we've got the questions, and that's it. Okay, well, that's it for us. I'm Jim.
I'm Chris.
And we are Geeks on Tour. And keep an eye on your messages there. We'll be back sometime soon. I think we're doing a show on this Sunday.
This Sunday we should be doing something, yeah. And we'll do this Ask Me Anything again next month.
Doing something. That's always good to know. Well, thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time. Geeks on Tour.